Hello. Welcome to another video. I do have some rather interesting news, I guess. It's not unfortunate too much, but I was recording this video and it was set to go to a folder that no longer exists because I'm nothing if not a little organized. So I lost perhaps half an hour, 35 minutes worth of material, and I didn't realize it until I cut the video and went to check on the video quality. Additionally, I figured I had let the post audio thing happen because I did like not having to talk and play at the same time. Turns out I did. Right here, I do go over what happened. I found the hotel office tower, nothing special. I found Migos down there. I shot it with an AR-15. The Shaka Brutes did follow me from this large power plant, a bunch of H's. And this is where we ended up. Last video. So there's my trek. I went down to the power plant. I shot the Migo. The Brutes found me. I ran over there. I thought I was safe, but they followed me over. Over here, I found a truck and I decided I was gonna steal the headlights, and I may as well do my little sharpened iron bar stuff too. So that is where we left off. I have level 1 mechanics and level 1 marksmanship as a result of my training today. As you can see, it's day 3, so this is the 3rd night, so you didn't really miss all that much, just a bunch of traveling. And hey, I didn't even lose any audio. So you know, this post-audio thing, not as bad as I made it out to be, is it? So anywho, the point is to get to level 2 mechanics here so that I can install my own headlights, no questions asked. I should probably get around to also doing a funnel, because the sooner you get that set up, the less you have to worry about the water, funny enough. I was using the glow sticks instead of wasting the vehicle battery and the vehicle gasoline. I think I only have 4 or 5% gas left. That's not a whole lot. I don't have a reliable source, and there's no reason not to use these glow sticks because frankly I never used them for anything else ever. So if not now, when? Right there you saw me smash the guard railing with the wood axe. Those guardrails are pretty hard, but with a wood axe or something equally strong, you're able to puncture right through them. Kind of like a soldier. Punctured right through them with that wood axe. Not so well with anything else. You really want to punch through. So there we are. I'm at level 2 mechanics. Not too much has changed with regards to my equipment. I repaired it all. I made a back holster, I believe. And I did make some water skins so that I could hold my alcohols. Much easier on me, especially this early in the game when I don't have a boatload of stuff to strap onto my legs. Giant lobsters. You know, they aren't the most dangerous thing ever, but gosh, they are huge. They will grab you and they will pinch at you, and you know, if you let them, they will wreck your day. You'll actually see a second giant lobster, and watch what happened. Watch what he does. He is a champion, if nothing else. So they provide ample amounts of meat if you don't mind eating lobster meat. And as you can see, I spent my day butchering critters. I actually went back to that bear. I said, "What's up?" And I smacked him with my spear till he died. I'm going to actually turn sound into a placate trigger and see if that doesn't help. Because bears running because you spread your arms wide and screamed at them? Maybe? But it doesn't make for good show. There's a Shaka Brute out there, and he's not going away unlike the rest of these critters. It's probably a sign that I was ignoring. Because frankly, I didn't see it until later. When the hallucinations come, they get pretty damn annoying. I don't know if you know, but you have to filter it out and this and that, and the Shaka Brute's gone anyway. So I thought he was a hallucination. Nope, there he is. There he is, 59 tiles away. Well, he's hanging out up there, and he's not coming down here, so just in case, I think I might sit there and craft in the front seat like that. You missed that, by the way. Some technicians decided to renovate my vehicle. They were easy enough to get off, but it happened. So I'm dead tired, but I'm not too concerned about it. It is a bad state to be in, but I'm an insomniac, habitually playing the game. Oh, hey, this already happened. This lobster went up there, managed to murderate the shocker brute and his friends. Lobster isn't especially dangerous. He's slow. But, I mean, you underestimate the lobster, you're going to have a bad time, like that shocker brute did. Oh, apparently I hadn't already crafted the back holster. Well, there you have it. Now, all this for a pair of headlights, by the way. So I have some nice delicious offal, going to try to keep my health up. It's important, not necessary, as you'll see. I mean, plenty of addicts survive in this post-apocalyptic wasteland, so I do believe here I'm going to repair all my goodies, and in the future, I don't think I will force you guys to sit through this, but for the time being, it's not so bad that you get an idea of what I'm actually doing, especially the people who say the game's too hard or the mod's too hard. I mean, this shows you what I'm doing. I'm not trying to reinforce any of this stuff. I'm simply repairing it back so it can take more damage. And that's what it is. You do get minor stat increases when you repair your items. I mean, they lose stats when they get damaged. But it's not that bad a thing. And none of this stuff is so complex that I can't repair it on my own. In fact, I made most of it, so yeah, I know. Okay. So that having been done, just want to top off my tailor kit. And I think I go and check out what Mr. Lobster is doing. He's a bit of a silly Billy. Ah, yes, I do this now. These ankle holsters and ankle sheaths. I've actually taken quite a bit of a shine to these things. I like them. I like the idea of having a small little PP7 poke my sleeve, whip it out, and the ankle sheath is useful for carrying a real knife on you, like a combat knife or a hunting knife or a survival knife. I'm a big fan of the diver's knife, but it has no weight and not really much volume. It's a very small thing, actually. So you see me just playing as I would more or less play on my own. I did find a toolbox, by the way. I neglected to mention that, but it was on one of the technicians. So, I mean, he must have clipped it to his belt or something. I'm sure he was holding it the whole time, just walking with the little tool belt. Lots of fun. I've got my headlights. That's what matters. You see me having fun with the lobster. I actually lost track of the little guy. There he is inside the thing. He's mortally wounded, but he's really not interested in playing nice. You can hear him trying to smash through, and I did give him a significant bust over like a crayfish. And as you can see, I'm 3 tiles away. He does not care. He is a huge creature, so he drops a lot of meat. And here I decide to mess with him, because the playthrough wouldn't be very fun if I didn't show you guys. And I've never actually taken one on organically, and this is organically. I've tested it, but I have never actually went and fought it for the sake of fighting it. I decided to take these headlights while I'm here, because I could use them. Why not? And as you can see, I am occasionally forgetting to liquor myself up as I'm playing. It's not something I want to be asked to remember. It's really a chore, in my opinion. The chore I don't mind playing with in the beginning, because it does have advantages and disadvantages, and we'll see that when I try to detox later on. Eventually, I'm going to get to the point where I need to stop the alcohol. And what I'm going to do is read or set up a small base or sleep, It's another common activity I do when I detox. But they've changed the code quite a bit, and I'm not on top of it like I used to be. Used to be you just shut yourself up in a room with a bunch of food, and that's the end of it. They make it last longer if you quit cold turkey. So your best bet is to detox a little, then drink a little, then detox a little more. It helps lower the problem rating. But I mean, if I get some Prozac or some Trenbolone, I don't really need to. But the detox penalty is pretty serious. Do not let it catch you. Do not try to go do crazy things when you're detoxing. It's a quick recipe for death. Okay. So as you can see, just running over my repairs. By the way, all these new repairs I'm doing result of the lobster. The lobster is very, very slow outside of water. Very fast in water, but he hits like a truck. He is a large size truck. And you are numbits. I don't know if you've ever seen a lobster attack something. I was very surprised just how good they are at it. I mean, they're predators after all, in a sense. Anywho, here we go. Got my water skins. Apparently I hadn't had those crafted already. Not a big deal. They're crafted now. I think now I'm going to show you about the water in the my bobber in the gas tank. So what you do is you just fill a gallon jug up, put it into a gas tank, and fill up to your heart's content, or as much as you can hold. Put it in a gas tank, take it on out, and then you've got yourself some water that will never make you sick. They have like a filter system in there or something, I guess. Who am I to judge? I'm just taking advantage of it. Here we go. Here we go. And we're good. Remember when doing that would only add 10 water to your gallon jug? It looks like there's actually diesel in this. I poured it out. It's only 500 diesel, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's enough to make like a Molotov. I'm surprised they have diesel, to be honest with you. I guess they added it at some point where you could just have small amounts of gas in there. That's fine with me, guys. I am A-okay with this. So, that all done, I think I make my sharpened metal spear now. I make my brass catcher first. I think I've forgotten about the brass catcher actually requiring level 1 skill now. Because I make it and it's an hour-long project. That's actually a significant time sink. We're talking about 1 drink just to make this item, and it would be useful for like the AR or maybe a shotgun, but it requires level skill 1. Whoops. Like I said, it's a time sink, but it can be worth it if you plan to do a lot of shoot. I don't, but I've already done a bit, and here I do something silly by checking the time instead of using my phone or my new watch I picked up. Oh, I rather like the thing. It was on discount because I'm a stingy guy, 35% off, and that's fine with me. So I got myself a fancy schmancy, it wasn't that expensive to begin with, but 35% off, so I bought it. Anyhow, now that that's done, there's some zombies hanging out up north. Why don't we just not worry about them? I'll fight them, I guess. We must be by something that all these zombies keep coming by, but we can't be that close or you'd think I'd see more of them, right? Either way, yeah, let's just not deal with that nonsense. But they smashed through the truck, yes. Let's repair my sleeveless duster. As you can see, it takes quite a beating. It covers my arms and my legs, so there's a lot of chances for it to take a beating. Once I get some Kevlar together, enough of it, I can make a armor on it, and it'll do a lot better. Well, that one won't be doing a lot of anything. It doesn't exist anymore. But more on that in about 20 minutes. Okay, we don't need to mess with the zombies. We know they're up there somewhere to the north because that's the direction they're coming from. And the game is relatively good about that, to be honest. So here you see me. I took off the headlights from my vehicle and the other vehicles, and now I'm going to attach them. It's pretty simple. I have a habit of setting the unit 6 forward and then 3 to 4 left to right, depending on how wide the vehicle is. This way I can see to the side of the vehicle, and I used to be a big stickler about actually putting headlights behind the vehicle so that I could see even a bigger radius, but now I can use higher lights because my vehicles are usually wide enough to cover my darkness too. Headlights used to be, floodlights used to be fantastic for the job, but these days you could attach 6 headlights and do one floodlight's job. It's ridiculous how much energy these floodlights use. It's worthless. The blinking lights might be better. I'll have to check, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were, just because nobody decided to nerf something that nobody uses, really. Anywho, so as you can see, just standard organization. Gonna numb the foods, gonna nom nom nom, drink, having a good time. Washing the helmet. Even though it's pretty damaged, and even though it doesn't matter if it fits or not because your head doesn't take any penalty at all, that firefighter helmet does 75% coverage. This helmet does 95. The bonus is there. It's bigger. Even if it doesn't stop all the damage, it's stopping more hits. And all you need is one really good sucker punch in your face hole, and you will cease to exist. It's happened before to me, actually. That firefighter helmet, not as good as it looks at first look. Here we go. Skunks are big babies. I gave them the special skunk spray thing that ants have. Well, I gave it to them first, then ants. But they don't really fight anything because they're big cowards. And, they're not supposed to be wanting to fight things, but it would be nice if they could defend themselves a little. Which reminds me that I do have to make bears not a big pansy to sound. I want to make them placated to sound. Because that sounds more like what a bear would do if it wasn't dedicated on attacking you, yeah? So here we find a humvee on a bridge. You hear mythical tales about magical humvees that simply need new batteries and a little bit of gasoline, diesel in this case, but you never really see them until now. Here's your humvee on a bridge. You found all these cars. I'm not terribly interested in a new car at the moment. This car is still pretty good as far as condition goes. But that Humvee, oh yes. The military cargo carrier, the one with the open back and all the seats, or the Humvee are my weapons of choice as far as that goes. As you can see, I blundered that drive. I actually shattered that gas tank. But back to this military Humvee thing. The military Humvee has more storage space than the cargo carrier. It is not as wide, which makes it which makes it a bit easier to steer, and I like it better in general because it has the recharging kit, whereas the cargo carrier does not. And an RPG. Now that's a rare spawn. I don't think I've ever found ammo for the damn thing, let alone ammo and the weapon at the same time. And it's spawned in a field of wild growing cocaine. Look at that. It looks like it is unsafe to grab those at the moment, but I can grab a thing or two, right? You saw me, I grabbed it out the truck vehicle. Apparently there's a hole in the bottom and I can just kind of grab down there and get it. One of my favorite things, the truck does not preclude me grabbing things. Let's mark that cocaine on the map. Cocaine is not as useful as it is in Zero C. In Zero C, you can outrun hulks with a couple bumps. It was great. You ever want to go 160% speed? Take a few bumps of cocaine. You will zoom across the map. In this game, it's a stimulant. You go faster, you hit a little harder. It's nice, but it's nowhere good. Now, you see this truck. That bus. It's in good condition. So what we're going to do is suit up for a Rambo moment. This doesn't look too bad at all. If you look, a couple zombies, a couple things. I'll grab a couple of rags. I have the Molotov, I have the shotgun, I have a defender, oddly enough, or at least I will have one. I didn't use it because for some reason I thought it was one of those crappy little rifles. It's a shotgun. Here you see proper Molotov use. I've noticed, by the way, that they extended the range of the Molotov, or at least the fuse on it. It used to be 2, which is 2 turns. Oops, I got popped. It happens, but luckily whatever it was with weak ammo. So, it used to be 2 moves, which is just enough for a zombie to grab you and keep you in the flames. Not where you want to be. Still, as you can see, I'm doing pretty good, but then Mr. Moose comes over and decides he's going to play too. Not much I can do about that, but I can light my fire with the dog. I can open up that thing and let the other dog come, and I actually try to yell at the moose. Bad moose, stop being a bad moose. Does it work? No, he's a bad moose. And in fact, I have so much pain I start to fear that he will best me in personal combat. So my solution? Shoot him in the face. Nice, quick, taken care of, and sure enough, that bus has some gas in it. Very delicious. You can usually tell what has some gas and what doesn't, because look at this thing. It's in pretty good condition. All the damage done to it is done by the zombies. When it's in bad condition, you'll know it. Things will be missing, it won't look good. Yeah. So, now that that's done, we can dump out all that water we worked so hard to get. Come back up. Do it again, and again, and again. I was ill-prepared for this adventure, but I usually am ill-prepared for a lot of these little adventures of mine. That's what makes them so much fun, and they are fun. They're one of the best ways to have fun in this game. Just let loose, experiment. If you die, you die, and if you live, you learn. Truth be told, you learn more if you die, but it's nice to be able to see what happens if you live, too. Tell the tale. There you go. Now remember, you can actually kite the acidic zombies if you're fast enough. Not guaranteed damage if you kite them because you have a spear and you're just going to pop them, keep running back. Now, Huge Boomer is threatening me with a problem down the road. We will see what happens. Because I'm greedy and I want more gasoline, or diesel rather. I'm going to unload the gin too. Now, mind you, I've dumped just about every single piece of alcohol I have down the toilet. I have some cheap wine and I have some whiskey now. We are not interested in playing this game with him. We are going to shoot him with a shotgun. And here I am showing you that you do not get a dirty towel when you wipe off Boomer Bile. Go figure. Okay, this done, we can move it on out. Now, this apartment complex, this was the one with the parking lots in between the buildings, right? There are actually several kinds that I have in my mod. The one in the game, there are 2 kinds. There's the single and the duplex. And they are called modern and not ancient, not conventional, simple or something. So there are 2 kinds of apartments in the Gase game. What I do is I add a few more. And what ends up happening often enough is that they all spawn on the same building cluster, city cluster. And it creates the appearance that this is like urban housing of some kind or another, which is nice because we do have our fair share of what's actually called projects. And they're projects because they're apartment complexes that are projects to clean up, quote unquote. Yes, you flip this apartment kind of thing. I'm not even joking though. I mean, they're called projects because these apartment buildings and the apartments themselves are continuously being repaired for something or another, and they're continuously breaking. They're projects. Well, but it has bad connotations, of course. So, anywho, They're things. I don't live in them. I've been inside a few of them, but I don't mess with them. I don't have to, luckily enough. So here's our Humvee. It's got a perfectly good battery, just without a charge. We can fix that later. For the time being, we do want a spare battery. It is a good idea, just in case you do something silly like leave your radio on or leave your headlights on or forget to do something. Yeah. So we're going to install our battery so that we can zoom on out of here should we have to. If you notice, our pain is, 85? Anywho, so what we can do, though, is drop all of the goodies we don't need to be carrying on us at the moment and shift all our goodies over. Now, in the future, I don't think, again, that I want to be showing you this process because it's 5 to 10 real life minutes as well as hours in game if you're unlucky enough to have a full base load in your car, like I tend to do. This game does nothing if not encourage hoarding. Okay, next we want the bottles of diesel because our priority here is the diesel. Nothing we have in our truck cannot be replaced. So we want to make sure that if a shocker comes by or a brute or something, we can zoom right out of here. Now, we've got a good engine, we've got a good tank, we've got a good battery. We are officially ready to zoom on out should the need suddenly arise. Hopefully it won't be a problem, though, will it? If you look, that second tank is damaged. But me, being my OCD self, I want to make sure I take the flag off for the diesel. Even though it's empty, it still said diesel was there. So I did that. And now I'm going to only fill this one tank. If I need to do something like put water in the other one, I can do that. You see, even though it's damaged, it still has a use as long as it can hold fluids long enough for me to take them out again. Big shock though, that single barrel shotgun does not over-encumber me to 40 or better. Early game, you do want to keep your encumbrance fairly low, and the reason for this that you want to be able to move around. You do want the protection, of course, but I find that the mobility is just as important. Yeah. Agility, dexterity does have their uses. I play this lower dex character because I have fun doing it. He's worse at tailoring, he's worse at running, he's not quite as fast, has bad knees, so he's not going to be sneaking away through like rubble, which is fine with me. But there you go. This is where I see the Defender actually is a shotgun. I don't know why I thought it wasn't. Hey, God. Oh my. I'm not getting sick or anything, actually. I feel fairly healthy as far as things go. Here we are. As you can see, I'm just getting all the clothing over at once, and I'm not falling into the trap of putting on 18 different articles of clothing, because it is a trap. As you see shortly, I forget to take that backpack off. It doesn't come into play at any point, but it could have, and it could have cost me something important. It didn't, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be aware that it could have, you know? Next, we want to make sure we take some food and the rest of our stuff up front, because the stuff in back's for storage, really. The stuff up front is immediate food and things like that. I put that pot into the door. I'm going to have to remember to change that up. Uh-oh. We've got bodies, and they're coming straight for me. So what am I going to do? I used my Molotov, but I do have gasoline. So I filled the Humvee tank with it. I siphoned it out into a plastic bottle. I didn't need to pick it up, but I did, because I would need to eventually, I guess. I don't know. I probably didn't need to at all, but I did. So then what we can do is try to make a Molotov. We do, however, need a glass bottle and a rag, which I knew we needed a rag the moment I checked. I was like, crap, I need a rag. Here we are. It doesn't take that long to make. You see, I made it quite fine with trouble on the way. 5 turns, then not a lot. Okay, I'm trying to get them out. I need I need a lighter. Whoops. That's okay. I run back, grab my lighter out of the trunk door, and try to get as many as possible away from this vehicle and damaging it, even though they are. And we light it. We have 4 hold turns because 30-second rag. There you go. And there we go. We do want to be on the watch out for exploding bodies again, but we're doing okay still. Most of the regular Zeds will not have fancy schmancy weapons on them, so yep, there we go, there we go, there we go. And a couple of guys. Yes, did that decay guy just spawn out of nowhere, by the way? Because I don't remember him being there, but he was suddenly there. So I'm pretty sure he spawned out of nowhere. Now that they are dead and no more are coming, I'm going to loot the things I want. I know I want all these leather. These sneakers provide a small amount of leather as well, but I didn't feel the need to do all of that. That turret is empty. I did not check until later, but it is empty. So, not like I could have used that. Not that I would have wanted to use that, because I don't want a horde coming before I'm done with my job. I could have taken off right there, but with a small group like that, I was willing to take that risk and use a Molotov. And it worked out fine. So, like I said, experience is going to help understand things like that. Okay, now I have my own personal organizational method for this, and that is that I keep things like atomic lamps, I keep towels, I keep a blanket, I keep emergency weapons and things like that in the driver's seat. Next to that, I keep maintenance tools and pills and sometimes empty bottles or important books, things like that, in the recharging spot, the box. In the next seat over, the front passenger seat, I keep things like batteries, nails, thread, copper wire, numbered objects, ammos. In the seat behind that, I keep clothing that I want to wear specifically. And then in the last seat, the one behind the driver's seat, I keep weapons and ammo. Actual gun ammo, of course. In the trunk behind that seat, the bottom left one, I keep all my food and open bottles. The next one I keep chemicals and certain car parts and stuff like that. And in the other one I keep scrap metal, spare tools, some rags, some overflow from the clothing. So that's my general organization. I keep cash cards in the door seat, and I keep a pot in the other side door. That way I can cook when I need to, and I know where everything is when I want to grab it. As you can see, I get fairly specified about some of this stuff just so that I can keep track of what's going on, because after you play so many games, everything kind of blends together. This way I know what I have, what I need, what I don't have. When I play 2 games at once, it does not confuse me as much, even though I don't quite like it as much. I don't. Playing multiple games at the same time, it kind of throws me off. Occasionally I will put a game down for a few days to do a different game, like a different CDDA character, and I'll just come back to the first one and be like, why am I still playing this guy? Because I just fall out of carrying with it. Now, you don't have to, and I didn't have to, but I'm smashing these corpses because I might be back here, and I do not need all these guys getting up when there otherwise does not seem to be a lot of zombies around here. So this done, I actually take off over here and start exploring up and to the left, I believe. Let me collect all my items again. This way I can have my good times. I'm afraid of shrubs. You saw that? I am though, because they damage everything. Why do I have a hacksaw on me? I don't need one. And where are my aspirins? I remember this because I have to play chicanery with the aspirin. They don't weigh that much, unlike multivitamins, but I don't like the idea of carrying 100 aspirin around when I don't need to. So I usually only carry 20 at a time. You know? Okay, so they came from north-ish and west-ish, or east-ish rather. So we know they're over here somewhere. It's not just this apartment complex. For one, because apartment complexes don't spawn in the middle of nowhere unless there's a problem with the map. And there does not seem to be a huge problem with the map. Problem with the map, I mean, it just spawned irregular cities and stuff like that. Sometimes it will spawn invisible cities for things to, root themselves to. Size 0 cities is what they're called, but, I've been vindicated right here, because as you can see, they're picking up. We saw before on the bridge, they were from the north. We seen from over here, they're coming from the west and north. Yeah. One thing my mod does do is add more things like military roadblocks and mines in the road. It takes away some of the drug dealers who hang out on the road and die for no reason. It puts them into the fields, and it takes away some of the minefields from the field, because mining a field is well and good, but a 24 by 24 plot of land is not going to really do anything. Mining a road, though, that people travel makes a lot of sense, especially if you're going for a salted earth policy here. Everything is FUBAR, so you may as well make sure that you are in control by killing everyone else. It makes perfect sense. Don't worry about it too much. Okay, so we are in business. My immediate concern is to scout the area. I want to see what buildings are here that I can consult later with my map. Which is nice. I don't have to actually mark down whatever building is. Here we go. I did update my version, so that should be a garage. Yeah, it is. Somebody turned all of the dark gray buildings into white ones. I don't know why they weren't turned into light gray ones, but not my decision. It's already been fixed. Not a big deal anyway. Okay. So the acid rain is here. I'm so glad I have a working vehicle again, or a pristine one. This is one of the styles of buildings I added. It has this many parking lots on purpose. You see that singular one? That's one of the original ones. So it does create a bit of a variance. Apparently it's a double one, and it just had a road cutting through it. So yes, you can see how they clustered these apartment complexes together. It does add a certain flavor to the game that I don't mind. I don't know if anyone else has issue with it. Okay. I'm marking the van down mostly because I want it diesel. I definitely do want diesel. Now that I have my baby, I want to keep her fed. She's a big girl. We've got a luxury RV, which is of minimal interest to me. Perhaps I'll come by one night and try to unscrew it or something. I don't know. These over here I didn't mark, but I do think I want to come back and check to see if that has any ammo. It actually does have ammo. So guess who might want to come back and see? Me, this guy. Okay, I'll have to make a mental note of that since I don't have the game on at the moment. I don't turn it on unless I'm going to be playing. That's the whole point. Okay, so since filling a vehicle tank is near instantaneous, I don't need to worry about that zombie catching me. We can just kind of pop right on off. Okay, now having fulfilled my basic needs, I have a basic layout of this town. I have a basic idea of its size based on how much land there is. It's a pretty good size one. And now I have to explore over here. As you can see, it actually spawned 2 roads going over to these parking lots. Not a big deal. Probably not the most efficient way for it to do it, but it's random, and I have to accept that it's random. Some pests hanging out inside these apartment complexes, hanging out with the zombies, and an artifact. You want to take one guess what I do? Go on, take one guess. Smart me sees all the fire vents and thinks, boy, let's snort cocaine and run through them. With my bad knees, by the way, which makes it cost 50% more movement points to go over these things. At the very least, I'm smart enough to put on some boots and the overcoat. I thought I had trousers, apparently not. I pay for it, by the way. Spoiler alert. I'm fairly lucky to be alive. I am still alive. Oh, and just watch. There are no zombies around. I have my defender out on me. Snort some cocaine. Take some aspirins. And we run in there. And it goes pretty well so far. Look at that. Going great, going great, going great. There's our problem. I probably should have not done that. Either way, get the fuck out of the fire range before you try to put out the fire. You can put out the fire, but if you sit there in range of the fire, you will only hurt yourself more. Get out of the fire. More important to get out of the fire than to stop the fire from hurting you. I did reduce the minimum required time for you to be on fire from, well, no need to get into details, but I did cut that time down because of mainly mancubus and imps and everything. There's no reason to be on fire for 30 whole seconds because an imp splashed you with a fireball. Not a big deal, but as you can see, I'm in quite a lot of pain. And I have no legs. Or I do, but, yeah. It's possible to drive without legs, in theory. Especially if you have a car that's hooked up to that, especially. My grandmother used to have one. She would use the gas and the brake with her hands while she was driving. And there's a robot chicken. We are not playing with that. That is serious business now. They did fix the guns, and it is indiscriminate in its pain spreading. It loves everything equally. Here's a grenade for you, and automatic guns for you, and I'm okay. Going to fuck right off. So, there we are. We have a pretty good idea of the city. We have no legs. We have this really interesting item that I have no clue what it does, and I'm not of a mind to use it before I heal my torso and my head. What are you gonna do? We'll get there, guys. I could always just look on the wiki. The wiki will tell you what these items will do based on their description and name. As you can see, this funny dog is doing funny things. So what am I doing? I'm drinking. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. I, by the way, lost all of my alcohol that I was carrying on me. All I have left is this whiskey. So I have to go get some more. There's a fire that I lit just so I can hide behind it should the need arise. I tried using my defender to smash this stick. I am too weak and the defender is too damaged. I have to take out a real weapon. And even then I have my own difficulties. Still, taking all of these. I don't need that many. Well, I think I just grabbed 4, and I think 6 will make what I want. As you can see, this dog, yep, there he is. We are not going to play with him. He is a bad dog. But he has a corpse, and I don't want to leave his food behind, because I'm crippled now. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to put away those and take his body. There we go. And this is where I actually learned that the center of that is damaged, so that things can get in. It would have been nicer if wolves and things like that couldn't get into my vehicle, but I'm alive and in incredible pain and doing pretty well. The game certainly got a lot more interesting very quickly. I'm probably going to sleep off camera And then I'm going to see what this item does. I'm going to take off all my clothing, walk out into the field, and use this item. With any luck, it won't spread random fire. But it does say warm disc. You have to wonder about what it could be doing. Maybe it gives me a flamethrower ability. That'd be nice. So let's make our splints. They're on, and we are now ready to hobble ourselves around. And I'm not messing with the duster. Alright guys.